Some political and religious groups have said they want a society where everyone's equal. But this is a very difficult goal to achieve. No society can be completely equal in terms of rights and opportunities. Today, we'll try to understand what it means to be universally equal and why we cannot create such a society. By subscribing to the Dinosaur Age channel, you'll be the first to know about the release of the next episode. Also, with the help of comments and likes, you can help promote our videos according to the platform's algorithms. Many of us have thought that life would be better without rulers and states. Stories about a golden age of mankind are popular in some scientific circles. These are stories about the past when people lived in harmony with nature and were their own masters. But this type of society has never existed. Even when our distant ancestors were still living in trees, they were not equal. To understand this, look at modern monkeys. They are our closest relatives and live in similar conditions to our common ancestors many millions of years ago. It's possible that they behave in the same way. In nature, some animals are always stronger and faster than others, and some are predators while others are herbivores. Even within groups of the same species, there's a strict hierarchy, as we can see in ants, lion prides, and elephant families. Human beings are no exception to this general system. Our distant ancestors used tools for defense, to get food, and to oppress weaker members of their tribes. This strict hierarchy was a guarantee of survival. The strongest and most skilled individuals always had the best food and were better able to protect the group. In some primitive communities, people who couldn't contribute to society were often left to die. Care for the sick and elderly was only seen among the most recent members of the human species. This was because of changes in society and enough food being available. Over time, a group of people with more power and wealth formed in all types of society. This power was usually passed down from one generation to the next. In the past, tribal communities were more egalitarian, and important decisions were made by a general council. The wealthy and powerful could influence these decisions, but everyone had a fair shot at a fair resolution. In the past, the gap between rich and poor got bigger. During the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, and especially when capitalism was born, society became more divided into different classes. The Soviet Union was the only successful example of a society where the common man had about the same opportunities. But over time, its own royal families appeared at all levels. Let's imagine a society where everyone is truly equal. The most important thing is that in such a society, the concept of the state should disappear. Rulers should not be elected or inherited, and the presence of advisory bodies of power, like a primitive council of elders, will lead to a gradual stratification of society. For this to be possible, people must live in very small communities, like family groups or small clans. This is approximately how things were at the dawn of mankind, about 40,000 years ago. We don't know exactly how the Cro-Magnons organized their society, but we know that survival was their top priority. It would have taken a lot of people to organize a hunt, for example. In primitive societies, for one kind of people to survive, the neighboring kind of people had to cease to exist because there simply could not be enough resources for everyone. This means that to create a society of universal equality, people must not compete with each other. This is possible with an excess of resources or a huge distance from each other. Just as each predator has its own hunting grounds, so each family must have a certain territory. This area must provide people with all the necessary resources, from food to minerals. In such a society, everyone would be equal and independent, but human communication would be minimal. Over time, this could lead to the degradation and degeneration of the human species into something else. This could be similar to the High Elves from Tolkien's works, who were not interested in worldly things. They looked down on the people and gnomes around them, and even for such beings as different from humans as possible, the author came up with their own kings and states. Science fiction writers rarely, if ever, write about a society where everyone is equal. Even in stories about the end of the world, people usually form groups or fight against a bad company. In the Star Wars movies, different princesses, emperors, and generals meet. We need other people to survive. The key to our survival is having a clear distribution of rights and responsibilities among ourselves. Humanity has not yet come up with another way to build relationships on the path to technical and social progress. But now, the idea of universal equality is often distorted to the point of absurdity. Some believe that the opinion of every member of society should be taken into account on every matter. This greatly diminishes the presence of education, life experience, and practical knowledge. Voting should decide everything, and the opinions of an academic and a third grader should have the same weight. You may have heard about the democracy in ancient Greece or the Roman Empire. However, these were slave-owning states. People did not trust the lower classes to resolve state-level issues. Decisions were made by people who devoted their lives to studying science, military strategy, and other important subjects for governing the state. These people were also the richest and most influential. This means that their actions were often focused on preserving and increasing their wealth and power. While many today complain about the modern way of life, the average person now has many opportunities. Having rich parents certainly helps, but everyone now has the opportunity to do well in school and get more education. The internet also provides unlimited opportunities for self-study, learning languages, and communicating with other people. If you're not just watching entertaining content, you could take advantage of these opportunities too. I believe the creators of this channel can help people who want to learn more. It's not an academic source for anthropology and paleontology, but it's a great way to get started in these fields. Maybe people are not destined to create a society without governments, states, wars, social inequality, and other problems. But without the unification of all people on Earth, our civilization cannot continue to develop. We thank the viewers who watched this video all the way through. If you're interested in this topic, you can learn more about other options for the development and problems of human society from our previous videos. They also discuss the evolution of various living creatures and the relationship between humans and wildlife.